with this one right here, Optimus Prime, you got Mastermind, and you got this one right here, the whole Optimus Prime coming into it. And you got you just got the Prime with the Optimus. I don't know if you guys ever seen the Optimus Prime, but with this right here coming into it, the name and everything else, like the name is just so scratchful, like so familiar, because you guys ever see Optimus Prime, and then now you got Mastermind coming into it, so he's coming in with the whole thing, like I said, Mastermind in the whole mix, like coming into it, and especially his whole other ones, like he just got that whole other just real for passion to it. But now you got Optimus Prime with Mastermind and him, just coming in with his whole thing. So, really with this whole thing, but Optimus Prime with Mastermind and the whole, you got with Optimus Prime with Master.
Well, all the hope of the Cardi, I let it spread. A nigga city on me, cause see the face, never had no money. Now we make it rain. Run up on a gang, man, end up in your grave. Belly hungry, nothing on my plate. Now she bust it open, cause she know I'm paid. Yeah, somebody lied, saying crime isn't paid. I get like 5 different ways. Askers on the block, and somebody's getting bought again. They look to the shoes, now they tryna throw the book at them. All this lean, I sip a lot of money spent. All these risks I take to get this money in. I can't roll with no snitch, but stay over the grave. Belly hungry, nothing on my plate. Now she bust it open, cause she know I'm paid. Yeah, somebody lied, saying crime isn't paid. I get like 5 different ways. Askers on the block, and somebody's getting bought again. They look to the shoes, now they tryna throw the book at them. All this lean, I sip a lot of money spent. All these risks I take to get this money in. I can't roll with no snitch, but stay over there. And if you fucking with them ops, but stay over there. I was broke, that shit fucked with my mind. Then my life transformed like Optimus Prime.
Hey, that stuff was messing with my mind. I had to focus on that, that whole other thing. He said, as you with that other snake stuff, then you gotta stay on the sideline, like you gotta stay over there. Like you don't wanna be with a person that is, on some other stuff, and he's on a whole nother level. Like he said, people be telling on the next person and going around, you rather be in your own circle, that person's, doing some snake stuff, then you might as well just keep him away from, the circle, keep him just another thing. But he said, I was lost in like Optimus Prime, like the whole thing, how it was just coming, like Optimus Prime to the whole lost thing, and the whole thing, like you got just the lost little mind thing.
Tryna throw the book at them. All this lean, I sip a lot of money spent. All these risks I take to get this money in. I can't roll with no snitch, but stay over there. And if you fucking with them ops, but stay over there. I was broke, that shit fucked with my mind. Then my life transformed like Optimus Prime. I lost with some niggas, started losing my brain. Smoking all this candy, try to deal with the pain. Made a promise to myself, get this money, don't change. Started with some niggas, they ain't always strange. Thought like we gon' get rich, but that wasn't the case. All these drugs I take just to help me escape. Wish that I could bring my niggas back, see their face. All these funny niggas that they could replace. All the Cardi, I let it spread. A nigga city on me, cause see their face. Never had no money. Wish that I could bring my niggas back, see their face. All these funny niggas that they could replace. All the Cardi, I let it spread. A nigga city on me, cause see their face. Never had no money, now we make it rain. Run up on a gang, man, end up in your grave. Belly hungry, nothing on my plate. Now she bust it open, cause she know I'm paid. Yeah, somebody lied, saying crime isn't paid. I get like 5 different ways. Fuck love, get racks, we don't do no net. Try little crow slide, then they probably tryna dead that. Homicide say niggas tryna push heads back. CBK, I told them all it's just a setback. Forget that.
Ooh, it's just a setback. Like he said, it's just a setback. It's just everything is the beginning. Everything is just the start. And like he said, forget the set racks. Like he said, them day nights, them day racks. It's just the beginning where everything starts. Like he said, he'd rather be getting those racks than getting those overstacked. So like he just put it like he just said some. Hey, it's just the get max. Like he said, everything comes with a little start to it. Everything gotta. I feel like everything is just a mix of everything. Like you gotta start with something like something little squirt. But the whole thing, like he said, everything else that he's mixing is just so and just breadable, because he's just spreading that eternal teas.
I got had the last laugh, came a long way from weed packs in my backpack. Cali weed import, getting fast tracked. Lord bless my heart, always praying for me. My nigga in the field, do the 3 times 3. Don't touch no civvies, we don't touch Mexicans. With me or against me, ain't no in between. Niggas say they got me, I'm the MVP. We was just little kids, now this shit got deep. Now I'm screaming through my dogs and R.I.P. Filling over cup, let me light my weed, yeah. Well, on the hop out of the Cardi, and let's spread. Niggas say they on me, cause see their face. Never had no money, now we make it rain. Run up on a gang, man, end up in your grave. Belly hungry, nothing on my plate. Now she bust it open, cause she know I'm paid. Yeah, somebody lies saying crime isn't paid. I get like 5 different ways.
Come on, he said what he said. He was like he had to go get that plate. Like, he was starving. He had to go get that plate. He had to just like find a way to starve and get where he had to get. Like I said, at the end of the day, we all have to suffer just to get what we want to get. Like, hey, it just comes to that piece. Like, that's a piece of a story. But Optimus Prime, like, hey, crazy how it just comes in. But like I said, he would be lost if it wasn't for the other things and just these little things. But him coming into it and him just putting his drawlet into it, like I said, one of the craziest coming out the whole area, stuff like that. But if you guys didn't like this though, most definitely give it a like, give it a comment, and you got this whole just other just elected